Hey there, everybody and anybody. Welcome to Night Call. This is basically a detective game. It just came out today. It's in a very noir setting, as you can kind of tell. It's very black and white, very picturesque. I really like the way that this game is made. Now, I'm a really big detective game kind of guy. I really enjoy trying to figure out these kind of things. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a series on this. Basically, you are a cab driver in modern day Paris, and for whatever reason you're investigating a serial killer. It could be that one of your cab driver friends died, or a passenger that you had died, but you're gonna go and you're just gonna investigate this. You investigate it by talking to your passengers, and there's something like 70 plus passengers that you can go through here, and you'll find out little bits of information about them, and one of them might even be the serial killer that you're looking for. So the whole point is for you to try to protect the city. I think you might have, this will have like a lot of different types of endings. You might get the guy, you might be, taken down as the serial killer yourself. You may get the wrong person. I don't know, but we're going to go through this, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's go ahead and get started. Ooh. Oh. So we have 3, which means I'm sure there'll be some DLC later on. But we have 3 investigations that we need to go through. So I'm going to start, because it's for a first run, I'm going to go ahead and do the judge. Victims have something in common, and the motives seem clear. But which suspect could have done it? Balanced case, perfect for a first run. Okay. I'm going to go balanced, because, that's the way Night Call was designed. But yeah, I don't know enough about it to try to go hard, and I don't want it to be too easy. I want us to struggle, damn it, but not too hard. Mean streets of Paris. I love this art style. It's not realistic, but it's got realism built into it. It's almost comic book style, very similar to like This Is the Police, something like that. Oh, looks like I got ourselves a dead guy. Couple dead guys. Doctor. Here. Sir, can hear me? Or do I need to speak up? Just take a deep breath. Yeah, you're fine. Sir, you just spent 2 weeks in a coma. The word bounces around your head. You need a moment to understand its meaning. Coma? The word scratches along your throat. Yes, you were the victim of an assault. The word resonates in your head. Victim. You are aware a serial killer is currently on the loose in Paris? You feel the contents of your stomach crawling up your throat. The judge, as the police call the killer, assaulted you. The bullet touched your liver and, in most circumstances, it would have been fatal. We chose to put you in an induced... Her voice becomes more distant, fades. You taste bile at the back of your mouth. Your head is burning. You hear a whistle in one ear. Your fingers move to the wound. Underneath the bandages, you can feel hard skin. It's incredibly painful. I'm sorry? Did they catch the judge? No. What about my passenger? What about the cops? Say nothing. What about my passenger? What about my passenger? He was dead before you even got out of your cab. The doctor is silent for a second. A very awkward second. She hesitates. The police would like to see you as soon as possible to ask you some questions. After all, you're the only one who survived the judge. Noise in the hallway attracts your attention. You try to turn your head, to no avail. You need to rest. Oh, did I skip something? She leaves the room. Her voice resonates in the hallway. I don't care. He's the only witness. Another female voice joins in. A strong, authoritarian voice. You can't clearly make up what she's saying. A strange feeling washes over you. It's not pain, not fatigue. Some odd combination of the two. Before being in this hospital room, you never realized that anger was made up of a combination of pain and exhaustion. Anger. A feeling you know all too well. Days go by, and a month later... Night 1. Alright. Well, look, I got a bit of a problem. A real problem, that is. You have a pounding headache. It's your first night behind the wheel since the attack. Oh, that's me. It's very gruff. I like him. Are you listening to me? You catch your boss's eye in the rearview mirror. Yeah. He stares at you for a second or two without speaking. Sometimes I wonder what goes on inside your head. You always seem so far away. I'm listening. Okay. He's watching you closely, trying to make out what's going on in your head. You know I'm worried about you, don't you? I know. You're like a son to me, you know? I know. And you know he's about to tell you the story of his taxi fleet again. When my father died and left me the store, I could have sold it. I could have retired, gone back to the old country. But I decided to start a cab fleet with the money he left me, to hire the guys from the neighborhood. And that's why I've got 45 guys like you working for me. His hands flutter in the air. Though none of them are any match for you. He smiles. His voice suddenly takes on a serious note. Do you want me to go over everything again? He points to the equipment on the dashboard. The meter, the GPS. You haven't been in a taxi for weeks. Maybe you do need a little refresher. Yeah, good idea. Right then. Well, first the map. You spot potential customers and try to guess where they'll be going. Then you decide. When a customer orders a taxi, if there's no one else around, you have to go pick them up. He shrugs. It's the way it goes. It's business. No problem. The other fares, you look at the map and decide whether or not you want to take them. And then, you drive. He flashes a quick mechanical smile. You know it well. When he talks about work, that's all. When your shift is over, we do the numbers and... His voice trails off, as if searching for the right words. And that's all. It's pretty simple. There's no reason you can't do it. Oh, right. No overtime. We're in France here. Those are the blah blah blah. We're in France here, and there are rules, regulations. You might not see it that way, but no one likes to having a driver who hasn't slept for 24 hours. He looks away. Something's been bothering him since he got into the cab. Anyhow, you know the ropes. You get it. I know you're going to do a good job. What's the matter? Your boss keeps quiet for a while, as if he's hesitant to speak, and then... I don't think it's a good idea. You shouldn't be driving. The murderer is still out there, and we think he's going to come back for you. He doesn't know who I am. He could have seen your face. The police are positive he didn't. He attacked from behind. I fell to the ground, then he took off. Silence. Your eyes lock. He holds your gaze. He wants to believe you, to be on your side. He looks away. Anyway, I'll let you get back to work. Every minute spent in the taxi is a minute lost. He gives you a smile, half ironic, half serious. You can count on me. He scratches an invisible stain on the armrest. Yeah, I know, that's the problem. He smiles. Your boss opens the door and exits the cab. You watch him cross the street and enter the fleet garage. A couple of colleagues are milling about. Taxis are coming and going. They all ignore you, consciously or unconsciously. You are branded. You sit there a moment, then turn the key in the ignition. The hum of the engine sends a tingle down your spine. It's impossible to describe how you missed that feeling. It's back to the night shift, back to life. Despite the attack. Despite it all. Alright, so, I could go get a cat, I guess. This guy's probably the shortest distance away, so I'm going to start there. I like it, it's like having a little Google Maps. Peter DJ Watson Cavello. Porte de Versailles. The door opens and your passenger collapses into the back seat. His eyes are hidden behind a pair of large, dark glasses. His clothes reek of sweat and booze. A clubber. He mumbles his destination and you start driving. A few words are exchanged. The weather, taxes, traffic. Then, you can tell it's coming. The inevitable conversation about the killer. Some bits of information, rumors, things overheard. You make a mental note of what you've heard. Who knows? Might come in handy. Oh, we got a new clue. Your mind wanders. Your eyes vaguely scan the store windows. Sodium light comes off the street lamps like it's been dripping into your brain. You're falling asleep. You need a bit of music to keep you awake. That's the passenger. You glance at your passenger. You mind if I put a little music on? He waves his hand as if to say, who cares? You turn the radio on, pressing the dial to find the station you like. 80s rock ballad. Too soft. Behind you, your passenger is snoring. Barely, but you can hear him. Gregorian chant, mind-numbing. Some slow rap song filled with fake female orgasm noises, not with a passenger in the car. Two journalists discussing new evidence into the investigation into the judge's murders. The information they share, salon talk, nothing more, seems important nonetheless. An ad interrupts the torrent of words and you change the station. Classical music again. The flute grates on your ears. Electronic music. You like the rhythm, but you aren't in the mood. Stop. You lift your hand from the dial. The music plays on. Not bad. Turn it up so I can hear better. I didn't want to wake you. His voice sounds like it's coming from a deep cavern. I wasn't sleeping, just sobering up. He leans forward. Not bad at all. You hear the touch of an accent. Probably an American, but someone who's lived most of his life in France. Leave it on until they say the musician's name. The music continues. There's something turning in the background, a persistent melody that gets higher and higher. Your client mumbles. I bet. The song is coming to an end. The announcer, in a piercing foghorn voice, throws out the name of the DJ you've never heard of. DJ Blunt. I knew it. You like his stuff? Yeah, it's good product. It's pretty conventionally structured, but it's super popular. He snickers. Still, I taught that dude everything he knows. Everything. In '94, at a party at the Rex Club, there was a kid who started buying me records. Or started buying me rounds. God. He waves his hand around. A kid. No older than 17. I thought he was hitting on me. He chuckles. It would have been a disappointment. He would have been disappointed. God, I can't read right now. He shakes his head. Nah, he wanted me to teach him how to spin. I told him, no, but you can watch. And that's exactly what he did every week until we moved to the Osiris. He sold X to pay his way in. He briefly snickers. And now he's on the radio. Silence fills the cab. Weighted silence. You can tell your passenger's mind is spinning. You know what he did this summer? He was the opener for the soccer championship at Stade de France. It was huge. Wonder what people would think if they knew he was selling drugs at 17. He lowers his voice a bit. They only knew. Your passenger clams up. Keep an eye on the road. You notice a woman crossing the street at the crosswalk. She speeds up as she walks by two men talking loudly. We ran into each other at Ibiza 4 or 5 years ago. You almost jump at the sound of his voice. I was spinning at this little club. Yeah, really little. But it was something. He totally ignored me, of course. Even with those dark glasses, you can see how angry he is. DJ motherfucking cunt. He suddenly starts waving his arms around. He rummages through his pockets as he says, your radio? Can it take a flash drive? You glance at your radio. You don't really know what he's talking about. I don't know. No worries. He lays his phone in the space between the two front seats. Listen to this. It's what I played tonight. It's mine. He sets his phone to play. But, you know, people were barely dancing. A drum machine playing a hard-edged beat in the background. They were talking, taking each other's picture. 4 notes start to dance in the cab. They barely touch, never kiss anymore. The perfect dance beat becomes progressively audible. All that, a purely electronic crescendo plays, is over. There's a break in the music. The synthesized strings calm the song down without slowing it down. At least, the song is getting intense again, explodes as your passenger drifts off. I got people dancing. The song keeps going for another minute, then stops. Your passenger doesn't budge. You drive to the rhythm of the snoring. Each sound fills the cab. Ideas are bouncing through your head, like they do every time you find yourself alone. This guy in the back seat is too old to be young. You look at your own hands. They look like they're suddenly aging in time lapse. You close your eyes a second. Only a second. When you open them, you reach your destination and have pulled over to the sidewalk. You tap your passenger's knee, and he wakes with a start. Shit, yeah? We're here, sir. Ah, yes, great. He rummages through his pockets and hands you a few rumpled bills for fare. Thanks, I hope you liked it. Silence. The music, I mean, my music, the song I played for you. I should have been in the spotlight, you see? 15 minutes of fame. Just a minute of... He stifles burp. You hear him mumble as he leaves the taxi. Those whiskey and oranginas really screw with my system. You see him stagger toward his building. It takes him several tries to get the door open. He finally disappears inside. You'll heave a long sigh. Okay, come on. Alright. 21.13 euro. Nice 32% euro. I guess I'll take it. Alright. Let's go ahead and do one more. Who do I want to take? Let's go get this lady. And then we'll call it an episode. My poetry needs a car ride. Alicia Clefs. Okay. 15. Yeah. Alright. The woman getting in your cab looks frantic. I've lost my inspiration. Every last drop of it. Come on, drive. You throw her very skeptical looks in the rearview mirror. I'll tell you when to stop. I'm seeing a stream. Dead. A billabong. She stops talking. You hear a low, guttural sound coming from her throat. A mantra. A billabong. Billabong. I must find a billabong. What's that? She inhales. She inhales. Closes her eyes and focuses. Her voice drops, becomes more intense. A billabong. A dead river. There's one right below us. Drive! Drive, I say! Alright. You start driving. A few minutes go before you realize your passenger is making a guttural sound. The sound resonates with the hum of the engine. Once in a while, she changes notes, modulating and playing with the harmonics. Suddenly, she shouts, "Turn left!" Then, abruptly, as if she were following a path only she alone could see, "Go down the boulevard!" You drive for a few minutes, aimlessly. In the back, your passenger is still singing. The meteor is running. What kind of ride that puts you out of sorts? Who knows when it will end? Your passenger squeals. Ah! Stop! Right here! Not a bit further! You brake. Yes. Yes. She whistles a high, loud note. The billabong runs just beneath us. Its water flows no more. The black stream from my vagina has stopped short. Alright, creepy. The rumble of revolution. The water flows no more. All that remains is to clear away the remains. You stop the engine. Silence fills the cab. Your passenger's low voice and the scratch of her pencil in the paper are hypnotizing. How many rivers have run dry? The water has left its bed and flows no more. You feel something vibrate beneath you. Probably the metro. How I long to sculpt the clay and the mud of life in this water that flows no longer. Except the metro doesn't run this late at night. I plunge my calves in this water that flows no longer. I am calmed and refreshed by its coolness. She squeals so loudly it makes you jump. She then returns to a simpler, more natural tone. Thank you. This poem has been years in the making. I was only missing a few lines until tonight. I sensed the billabong I needed while walking down the street like a charon. A muse. She opens her eyes. You. When you're driving alone at night like this, what moves you the most? I'm never alone. She shuts her eyes. Well, of course, true solitude does not exist. Simply pronouncing the word solitude proves we are not alone, because someone is listening. I like that idea. I walk in the night on water that flows no longer. At my side are those who saw it run. A pause. Superb. A second later, she left the cab. I knew I would find my inspiration on the path to the Billabong. She freezes. Your color is marble. Oh, Jesus. Ophicolicite. Ophicolicite. Oh my god, I do not know how to pronounce that word. Never forget this. She says nothing more. Passes you her fare through the window and walks away with a purpose. You sigh and walk away. Alright. Oh, she gave me a good tip, though. Oh, shit. Oh, looks like we're adding a little bit more. The door suddenly opens and a woman gets into the back seat. Having a good night? For a second, you freeze. It's one of the cops working on the judge's case. She grins at you. Her voice creaks. You remember seeing her at the hospital. Something already bothered you about her there. You know, it's actually pretty crazy. For weeks, I've been saying to myself, there's something off about you. Something not so nice. I dug around, mulled it over, bugged all my fellow cops about it, because I was sure you lied to us. Let her keep going. She has a cold sneer on her face. I'm going to be frank with you. She leans over to you. I don't think you're the judge. Nah, I just can't picture it. She squints like she's trying to make you out from far away. Like you've gone to the extent of hurting yourself. Yeah, between us, it's a bit of a stretch. She stares at you. But it's not enough of a stretch for my chief to stop going on and on about you. Seriously, he talks about you all the time. If I didn't know better, I think he'd have a crush on you. She smirks. No, I think he's more interested in your profile. In prison at 17, an icy chill fills your gut. And for murder, too. You open your mouth, but nothing comes out. Since you got out, you've kept a low profile. But you're lying about your name and your address. I checked. It's normal, you'd say. If they got word of your time served, no loan for your permit, no lease for your car. Meaning, no second chance at life. Her voice becomes softer, almost warm. I personally like guys who want a second chance. No, I like guys who fight for a second chance. Basically, I like guys who are willing to work for me. She leans forward, her shining cat-like eyes narrowing. My chief wants to go to the prosecutor with a first and last name, with evidence. Actually, knowing him, he's not so hot on evidence. So I'll give you info. Victims, suspects, medical reports, some photos that are a bit... She makes a gagging noise. You have to be discreet. Keep it between you and me. Interrogate, ask questions, dig around. I'm not a cop. She shrugs. Don't worry, you're already keener than half the squad. And don't forget, I'm not asking you to make an arrest and deliver the killer wrapped up in a bow in the front of the station, okay? You're no Batman. You're just here to get me more information. She rummages around the pockets in what seems like forever. Here, take my car. Take my car. Take my card. I'll call you in 3-4 days. Just check in. We'll chat. And I'll let you know if you have any new info. She takes on a didactic paternalistic tone. God damn it, I missed it. Don't get caught. Don't get arrested. Also, I wouldn't recommend you trying to leave Paris. I know what you look like and I know who your friends are. You can either be the solution or the problem, my friend. She takes a minute to scan your face, your emotions. If I have to, I'll go check in on you-know-who. Voldemort? Her smile is biting. That reminds me. She know you've done time? You shake your head. She snickers. Oh, my little dirtbag, you cover your tracks well. She acknowledges your silence with a nod. Okay, I think you've got a handle on our little deal. Any problems? I turn you in. I'll send your picture to all my friends in the media and every asshole in Paris. Your picture with your name on it? Your real name? Anyone close to you will have their places searched and they'll be put under house arrest, spend nights in jail. You have any idea how tense things are with that fucker's trial underway? You sigh. You know what she's trying to get at. Come to think of it, your names are almost the same. You could be brothers, actually. I'm nothing like that son of a bitch. She smiles. Let me tell you, with that face of yours and your handle, they'll welcome you with open arms. She takes on a serious tone, businesslike. I want to catch this killer personally. I want to drag him to court, ruin his fucking life with a bang. I can't botch this case, you got me? And neither can you, right? Obviously. Well, great then. We see eye to eye. So, you can just say you're my informant. My CI. He ripped open your gut. He saw your own insides. Oh, you saw your own insides. You were in a coma. Yeah, you have plenty of reasons to want to get back at him. She furrows her brow. Yeah, I think you're actually going to do what I tell you to do. You investigate, ask questions, listen to all the rumors, and you come up with a list of suspects. She lays her hand on the door handle and freezes. Oh, right. And don't get fired. Without this cab, you're worth nothing to me. You glare at her. I'm not gonna say anything, even though she's a fucking bitch. For what it's worth, it was a pleasure not to be interrupted every other minute. You can't imagine how much I missed that at work. She puts up her hand and you can hear the words behind it. This conversation never happened. I'll make sure you get more intel tomorrow. I'll find a way. Until then, not a word to anyone, obviously. Not a word. The door opens, squeaks, and slams shut. Fucking bitch. You sit alone for a while, teeth clenched, dry-eyed, ears buzzing. Shit. On the back seat, the cop left a pile of papers. Shit. Key in the ignition, motor running. Radio on, crackles. You turn it off and start driving. Talking to passengers might unlock new documents and clues for your investigation. You will find them back at your studio after your shift. 6 clues available in my room. Alright. You take a second to enjoy the silence of your studio apartment. Outside, the city is slowly waking up. You can still hear the hum of the taxi buzzing in your ears. You throw the files Busset gave you on the table. On the wall, you hung up the big cork board where you used to pin up your photos of your nephews. They've been gone since you got out of... Your plan is simple. Jot down all the pieces of evidence and connect them to the suspects. The guilty party won't necessarily be the one with the most evidence against them, but the one with the most compelling evidence against them. It's like you're building a story about each suspect, trying to understand their motives, understand how he or she got into this situation. A bus goes by, making the walls shake. You glance at your bed and get to work. Okay. I'll save this for the next episode. So, it looks like it wasn't shot your somebody shot the buddy or anything like that, or one of your things. They killed one of your passengers and tried to kill you when you were in a coma. I hope you guys have enjoyed this look at Night Call. If you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.